Hey, Kliq This fans, want to get closer to the show than ever? Join Kliq This TV. Kliq This TV offers early commercial-free access to wrestling's hottest podcast, plus live audience tapings of their show every friggin' week. Head to KliqThisTV.com now and get inside the show that's just too sweet.
The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
Kev Bovine Colostrum right here. Thanks to you. Thanks to your introduction to it. You got your, are you rocking anything? There you go. There it is, man. Let's see. That's the very one that I purchased. I kept reading so much about it. It kept popping up on my thing, and I remember you talking about it with me. So I was like, you know what? Let me go down the rabbit hole, and I did, and it's like, it's pretty indisputable from unless I didn't land on the right critiques or right articles, but it's pretty indisputable. And
you know, my wife does that with that AG1.
Mm-hmm.
That used to be a sponsor of ours.
Our old friends before they grew up and left the nest.
Shit, they got big.
They really did. I credit us. Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. I'm Sean, and I am here with Kevin this week. Kevin bouncing back from surgery, the $6 million man I'm sitting with here. What number surgery is this, Kev, for you? Do you ever count?
I think it's 38.
And it's multiple on the problem areas, right? So this is what number shoulder surgery? Well, shoulder / bicep, right? It was
9 on this side.
9 on one side.
Yeah.
Man, he sent me a picture.
I mean, but I had I had a small incision where they just took some cysts out. I had another arthroscope where they just ground I had impingement where they just ground the end of my clavicle and took some spurring. You know, I had some things, man, I bounced right back from. This was a pretty intensive.
Well, it went longer than it was supposed to, right? That's first of all.
Well, 3.5 hours, yeah.
Yeah, which was more than twice what it was originally scheduled for. And they were finding stuff they wanted to work on while they were in there.
Yeah, well, it was one of those things where, and it's almost like a kiss of death for me. You know, like they say to you, you know, how's your arm mobility? And they put your arm like this. Can you go straight up with it? And you go, and they go, oh, okay. Well, yeah, there's probably nothing in there. Well, my fucking deltoids are so big, and they're so dominant that my rotator cuffs can be torn off the fucking bone. And the only thing that happens is like I'll do a movement and I'll fucking feel my humerus pop out of the fucking joint, you know, because it's not fucking tethered down right. And that's what I was starting to get. I was starting to get a ton of grinding. And
so you shouldn't have been able to raise your arm, basically.
No, but that's what he said. Like I had a full thickness supraspinatus tear.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And I tore my bicep, and then I waited because the MRI said it wasn't torn. So
you got in pretty quick, though, right? It was
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Well, anesthesia too, right? Tough to kick out.
At 65, fuck.
Yeah. And just the grind in your throat from the air and the tube.
Having that fucking tube, and no, it just even last night, like I purposely like tried not to like use my vocal cords at all today, because as the night goes on, I end up whispering.
Right.
So
Well, but I told you not to take these club engagements where you sing the Harry Chapin stuff too. You had to get right back out there though on the beach.
you know, the tickets are sold. I mean, I got, you know, I don't want to let people down.
You already have their money. Did you get to see? Did you see Waltman in Florida before? Because I think he was going over there. Did you see him before you had the surgery?
No, I had the surgery the day he got in.
Oh, he did. Okay. Yeah.
Him and Eric did. Well, I was supposed to do a thing with him and Eric.
For the network.
Yeah.
Oh. So yeah, that's
Catch him down the road.
Of course. Well, glad to have you back. Wasn't
You know,
the same without Papa Bear in the house here.
Well, I appreciate it, but you know, I was sitting there and I was waiting for surgery. I was fucking around on my phone, and that's like when they finally let out that Bronson it broke both his fucking ankles on that splash off the top. And you know, they show the one where it's all fucking. It almost looks like a Sid, you know, with the fucking leg just, you know. And I tell you what, man, that fucking whole pay-per-view was a motherfucker. People got hurt in that thing.
Mm-hmm. It's the that's the nature of this business, man.
Some of the girls' feelings got hurt.
Well, glad to have you back. A lot of well wishes from the audience. I want to ask you a question too. Do you think that the paper Christmas card is dead?
You know what? Like what we do is my wife gets a box every year, and we used to when T was still here, we'd maybe get 25, 30 of the picture ones.
Right.
And we just send those to our closest people.
Yeah.
So now it's just we wait to see who sends us, and then we fire one back.
Yeah, I think I got so few this year, and I don't know that I was paying attention to it in years prior, but I'm like, I think finally, because it's been dead for me for a long time. I'm not sending anything anymore.
When people started doing that whole fucking, I remember the first time I got one was just like the text message birthday card. You know?
Yeah, sure, I remember.
And I was just like, oh, suck a dick, man.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Just don't do it. Send me a personal something. Don't have to give me the paper card either.
No, just say happy birthday.
That's it.
Hope you have a good day today. I was thinking about you.
It does as much for me as the piece of paper.
Yeah,
and really, the purpose of the card, what was it? You wanted to see Uncle John's kid?
You wanted to see fucking Uncle John's $20 bill when you were a kid.
Oh, if the gift was coming, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, when you were a kid, man, it's like those birthday cards. You'd open them like this.
Like, shake it and throw the fucking thing aside.
Nothing? Well, read it. I'm reading it, you cheap fuck.
Yeah, I'm so glad this whole charade is over with the cards. We don't need this. Since Facebook, everyone sees what the kid. And listen, let's be honest. Everyone does up that kid in that picture for the Christmas card. It's like for Photoshop retouching, and the kid's not cute. Okay, the kid's not cute. You go to Facebook, you see the 37 photos of the kid.
I don't have Facebook.
One kid. I'm not on it either, but I know that's the way the olden folks do it, and they can see aunt, uncle, all the kids.
People fucking send me Facebook shit all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And they'll send it to me, and I'll be like, I can't open this fucking thing. It won't open.
It's like TikTok. I don't have a TikTok account. People send me TikToks.
I don't have a TikTok account.
And that you can't even see. I think on Instagram, if I send somebody something on Instagram, even if they're not signed up, they can see it. They're just not logged in to the video.
Well, I think but it's not the same way back, because Facebook and Instagram are the same gimmick, aren't they?
They are, yeah. They're both Meta. So, I don't know. Maybe you can't then. I don't know. For some reason, I thought you could get it on the one deal and not the other. Some feedback. Liu Weigong O said, just wanted to give my best to Kevin. I know he doesn't read his mentions. I wouldn't either. Surgery sucks. I appreciate you both. I also hate the you got this narrative. Those folks never offered me real help when I was recovering. That did not stop me, Liu, from sending Kevin a you got this on the morning of his surgery. T gives you a shout out for that too, Liu.
Yep.
Jen Vargo, Jenny from the block, says, breaking out the Kev shirts while he's on the IR list. Hope this makes you smile. So I think she went with the championship one.
Oh, the TNT, the AEW strap.
Yes. Very good. Thank you, Jen. Here in spirit always.
God, did you see that thing I sent you today? That it was AEW and it was all the different black curtains they had.
So I actually put it to talk about. We're here, so why don't we? I think, Kevin, that's a good idea from a production standpoint. 2 reasons. You tell me if I'm off on this. First of all, it does, because they keep it dark and the curtains are black, it obscures it from the camera. You don't know what's up there. The second
you do know. You
know what's not up there.
Yeah, there's not people. You know that.
But I'm not staring at seats, which is a much more degrading thing. But what about, I thought from the worker's standpoint, the psychological thing of looking up when you turn around and you're going to do some kind of thrust out to the crowd and you realize you're doing it to empty seats. That must be demoralizing. So I think that the curtaining helps the workers too. Am I crazy with this?
If you've got to spend money from your production budget to fucking put up curtains as you're putting up the fucking lighting truss.
Well, not good. Not good. We agree on that.
No,
not
I mean,
good.
it's just, it's run smaller fucking venues.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, you can have a hot, loud crowd. ECW was never more than what? I mean, I'm not talking about the Vince part, ECW.
Maybe 1,000?
1,000, 1,500, and they packed them in these little venues, and they were crazy. They were loud. The energy, the workers would feel that energy. It sounded okay because it wasn't in some cavernous arena where the cheers are disappearing into the rafters. Yeah, but what is it, an ego thing to say we're not going to run the 10,000 seat venue, we're going to run the 3,000 seat? You don't want to have that on your schedule because it says, well, we're really competing with NXT.
Oh,
and not
you know
WWE,
what it is?
even though that's the reality.
I remember when, where the Phoenix Suns used to play, like back in the 70s. God, what's that place called? It was the old, before they built the when they first built it, it was American West. I think it was just it was Veterans Memorial
Auditorium. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, that's what it was in Phoenix. And the thing was, if you were like, and this is back, of course, if we're going to go back, we have to reference the fact you would look and there'd be ads, in the newspaper, and you would see it and it'd be like, a night of fucking metal, and it'd have all these, 70 fucking metal bands, and then it'd be like, veterans, and as soon as you saw veterans, you were just like, oh, so this is some fucking B shit. Like, they can't afford it, because they're not running fucking American West.
They weren't.
I think
when you were working, right?
What's that?
They weren't open when you were working, right?
WCW, my first run, we flew all the way out to Phoenix, and we got there, and the fucking ropes didn't make it.
What do you do? Garden hoses? What do you do?
They were trying to get us to fucking wrestle. They were trying to fucking work, basically have us work on fucking high school wrestling, just work on fucking.
They should have built the ring, Kev, and you should have whipped somebody in and had them take the
And this is
rope.
of course this is 90. So the minute that fucking I remember going back and like all the boys were at the same hotel, and by the time I got back was the first time I saw fucking like everybody in a room doing blow. Yeah. Like 5 o'clock.
Those were the days. So I remember the Veterans Memorial Auditorium from the old on the WWF broadcast at the time, and they would say like where they were coming, on tour or whatever. So it was. I mean, they ran a lot of wrestling, but I didn't realize it was that small.
It's probably not that small. I mean, I bet you it held 13.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, no, that's a because some of the NBA. You remember NBA in the 70s, before
fuck,
Bird and Magic. They
I don't think Cobo Hall held 10,000 when I go see the Pistons when I was a kid.
Right, and it probably wasn't sold out.
No, you'd buy a $4 ticket and slide your way down into the second deck. Yeah.
Okay, so 14,500.
14,500.
That's respectable. That logo looks a lot like the IRS logo when you get the statements from the IRS. It makes me nervous when you bring that up, Steve. I want to say that.
How many people did Cobo Hall hold, Steve? It's still there, but COBO.
Yeah. The Joe was bigger. 12.
Oh.
Respectable. But the Joe was the bigger, right?
Yeah, the Joe was 16 and a half.
I'm working
on
this.
Then Auburn Hills was like 24.
Oh, but the Palace was so big they'd have to do the AEW gimmick, right, for basketball sometimes. Like
no, that was the
when they had to use the big stadium, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But then they built Auburn Hills, which was huge. It was the size of the United Center.
I'm working on this project with Violent J and ICP, and just from writing about the youth, I think you could probably drop me in the greater Detroit area, and now I'd probably be able to get around. Probably be able to find my way around. I
don't know, man. You giving a shout out to Kid Rock, fucking on Instagram, saying
record is unbelievable,
dude.
I went back to it again, and I probably hadn't listened to it in 10 years. I was like, this is everything I remember. What, you weren't a fan? You're not talking politically. You're talking music, right?
I wasn't. I was more of a fan of like cocky. I don't know. Like maybe that music from that era, like Limp Bizkit, doesn't travel well.
Well, I wasn't a Limp Bizkit fan, but I thought Kid was a little different. It had the teeth, man. It had legit rock teeth. I mean, he was rapping, but it was a rock track. Hard, too. I dug it. Love it. The Township. The Township is showing up in my writing a lot, and I guess that was the unkind area in relation to some of the outskirts of Detroit. Township was a separate town altogether, or it was just a district that they called Township?
I don't know. I don't know the reference.
All right, I'll get more specific after the show. I'll go back to the notes.
I mean, it's like depending on where you live, I don't know, like fucking Wayne. Like there's areas like Wayne, like Wayne, Inkster, places like that.
Mm-hmm.
Even Dearborn Heights, Robichaud was a rougher. And Dearborn, I mean, I remember when I was a kid, Dearborn Heights, the police cars were town cars.
Lincolns?
Yeah.
What's that all about?
I don't know.
That's cool. I mean, it's something you'd see in a movie.
The police station was right behind my my grandmother and grandfather lived off of Lafayette, and right at the end of Lafayette, there was a field, and if you looked over to the left, you could see the police station.
And that was in what? Royal Oak, you said?
Royal Oak? No, I mean,
Okay, so that's Royal Oak Township was the area that I guess is being referred to as, when someone from Detroit says township, this is what they're talking about, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, but there's some really nice parts of Royal Oak.
Right, but this,
the Royal Oak backs up to Boston Edison, which is like where Gordy had all the mansions and shit.
When a person from Detroit refers to the township, they're typically talking about Royal Oak Township, a predominantly black community located just north of Detroit. This township is often informally called the township by locals, distinguishing it from surrounding cities. Royal Oak Township, the area has its own unique identity and history separate from the city of Royal Oak and the city of Detroit. So I guess it's different.
Yeah.
Separate from Royal Oak.
I wasn't in my. Well, we played Royal Oak though. We played them in basketball. When it's like anything else. So when you live someplace, man, it's just. It's not like, hey man, we're in Royal Oak. Hey, it's like. You just know you ain't in your fucking neck of the woods.
Right. But Jay lived in, I think, Ferndale.
Ferndale. I've always thought Ferndale was much rougher than fucking the Royal Oak Township.
Okay.
That's right off the lodge.
So,
I worked at a fucking assembly line in Ferndale.
How long did you do the auto industry for?
On and off, like maybe a year or two.
And your pops was there until he passed, right?
My dad, yeah, both my dads worked at Ford. Bob,
your stepfather too?
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember when he helped me get a car, and he had to like co-sign, so he had to put like his work experience. And he worked at a place called Saunders, which was they had ice cream. Like what was it called back in the day? You go sit someplace in a fucking
at the counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was soda jerk and the old.
Yeah, then you'd have then they eventually they ended up having like some sandwiches and shit, and then they were known for their cakes. My mom used to do this lady's hair. Her name was Rita Filipiak. My mom used to do her hair down in the basement. My mom had a chair down there.
So I didn't know she was a stylist?
She was a cosmetologist. She worked at La Tierra. She worked for a while. She worked around for a while.
But she always was the one by
Mrs. Filipiak always brought a fucking some unedible Saunders fucking cake.
What was inedible? It was just awful.
It tastes like fucking like brown rice or some shit. Like, bitch, just get the fucking get the chocolate bumpy cake that every fucking human being in Michigan would fucking kill for. Like the chocolate bumpy cake is the shit. Chocolate bumpy
What's
cake.
What's a chocolate bumpy cake? I thought I knew every food imaginable. What
chocolate bumpy. Can we find that, Steve? A picture of a Detroit City chocolate bumpy cake.
I feel like I know exactly what it looks like based on the description.
Oh, it's good. It's and with fucking 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream on that motherfucker.
Oh, now you're talking.
Oh, fuck. There we go.
Okay, not what I... So it looks like a fucking Muppet with 2 eyes there. And so now what is it? Is that just custard? for the folks listening,
chocolate on top.
it's white, but what's in the channel? There's like for those listening, it's a sponge cake with a a chocolate icing topping that kind of has two waves, and in the waves
it's like a cream. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Now we're seeing the making of it here. Chocolate bumpy cake.
That was the shit, man. Now that did fucking comes in a square, much unlike our pizza.
Chocolate bumpy cake, the square. I'm so fucking down with the 313 now, bro.
Oh, bro.
Got to send me a hat or something. I listen to Kid Rock again. So Don Dugan says that's a Swiss cake roll on chocolate cake. I don't even know what a Swiss cake roll is.
Swiss cake roll was made by, God, who made those? Mickey's? Little Debbie, maybe?
Oh, the prepackaged. You talk.
Yeah,
okay, I know what you mean.
No, that's nothing like that. The chocolate's a different consistency.
I want one.
Swiss roll fucking was more cracky. This is way softer. This is like fudge.
That's what you're talking about there, right?
Yeah.
No, those are, what are those called? Those were
Swiss
ring
rolls.
dings, or
No, those are Swiss rolls.
Roll? Okay.
See the Swiss Alps in the background.
Yes. Oh, it's geographically
there you
correct.
go.
So there it is,
See,
Little Debbie's Swiss
Little
rolls.
Debbie, man, she's fucking throwing that shit at you. And you know, I didn't realize this, but my wife grew up Seventh-day Adventist, and Little Debbie's is owned by Seventh-day Adventists. This is like their cash cow.
Oh.
This and fucking Chick-fil-A.
Right.
I had no idea. My wife, my mom had we always got the Little Debbie oatmeal cakes. That was like, that was one of the desserts we always had in our house because my mom liked them.
The Seventh-day Adventists, Saturday is their day. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's only 144,000 people are going to heaven.
Oh, so like you got to fight for the spot? That's kind of like WCW.
I'm just thinking, like, so you're gonna tell me since like the beginning of the fucking religion, like, what eight there's only 8 spots are taken? There's just
Who's
I
booking?
don't know.
Soul Punks 20 says, Kevin Nash and the Kliq This team. No surprise with my #1 podcast every Tuesday morning on my walk to work. I enjoy you guys. Thank you for keeping my walk entertaining. #Australian fan. So yeah,
Thanks,
a lot
man.
of the data came out about what
Nice.
people have been listening to this year. So on people's Spotify, I know.
I had a couple of my friends send me theirs, and we were #1, which made me feel good.
Yeah, Spotify.
My buddy John sent me a clip.
Did you happen to look at the thing I sent you? They Spotify put together kind of a comprehensive look at our show over the year and threw some data in a nicely presented slideshow. I think they called it what the hell they called it, but it was, and so I was happy to see that. Steve, give me some of the data I wanted to tout on this. That it taught me how to count first. I got apparently.
Yeah, I didn't make it. I already bailed by then. So
and so this is the spot wrapped. So they send you kind of what's going on with your show every year. So the Kliq This podcast. So letting us know the fans were really loving us. We took it to a whole new level for Spotify. We were up 26% over the previous year on the followers. Let's see what else here. 44% of our listeners discovered us this year.
nice.
So that was a nice big leap for us on Spotify. The top episode was the WrestleMania 40 review. Worth staying up for, I guess, in retrospect. It was streamed 303% more times than the average episode, which is significant. And Who is our audience? I was wondering that. We're going to break it down and tell
Here
you
we
exactly
go,
who
the
hell we are.
breakdown.
So our age groups, we are most popular with the 35 to 44 crowd at 50%. Coming in behind that is the 45 to 54% at 23 age, 45 to 54 years old at 23%. And in third place, 30 to 34%. And
Not bad for some old fuckers.
listeners 55 plus grew the most by 16%. We're going to be
stock tips.
It might have been. And of course, around the world, we where were we last year, Kev? We were streamed in 70 countries last year. U.S., well, of course, not surprisingly, was our top.
And probably Guam was too, I think.
Yeah, up from Cambodia, which
Right.
was the year prior. Other than our show, they listened. Our same listeners enjoyed Rogan, Corny, Corny's Drive-Thru, and Pritchard, and one more, and Eric.
And Eric.
No surprise there. We're in good company, Kev.
Yeah.
That's music. This was surprising. Number one favorite music of our listeners, country. Pop number two.
I think that you're a little bit country, and I'm a little bit rock.
You're
and
a little
roll.
more rock and roll than me, but that's because you're from the
No.
township.
Yeah.
Three was rap. And audiobook genres, sports, biography, no surprise there. Sci-fi, fantasy coming in at 3. They didn't just listen. 83% watched us on video on Spotify this year also. So that's cool. So they listen and then they watch again. Same person. That's 2 views or 2 downloads. So it was very good. It was very good. Shout out to our biggest fans. We're a top 10 show for 11,000 fans of us. We're a top 5 show for 6,000 of our listeners. And I have a feeling number 1 will be next. So of all those people that listened, 1.1 thousand said we were the number 1 show for them. So thank you all. Top fans listen to us 3.1 times more than the other listeners. So Spotify, hopefully they'll grow. I think that's our number 2 outlet. I know it's our number 2 outlet. Apple is still the largest, not counting YouTube, because YouTube is
Right.
YouTube's a separate entity. I'm just talking about. They're calling us.
for-
You know what
for
was
just-
interesting? That one, Kevin, the category they have us in, storyteller. We're kind of storytellers, aren't we? We're not prognosticators, and we don't just cover events. We're storyteller. Take pride in that.
Guess yeah.
All right, let's go. I'm dizzy already from this. We can move on.
Yeah.
So we'll blow those numbers out of the water next year again. Thank you, Soul Punks, for listening to us on your walk. John Connors was listening. He said, Sean seems nicer lately. He's learning as he goes along. You can tell, realizing he doesn't know it all. Sean has some book smarts, but not the street smarts like Kevin does. That is part of the reason they work so well together, their chemistry. I don't know how much I agree with there, but I definitely agree with the chemistry.
I still think that it just goes back to you getting out of your car and going to help the person and not thinking it could be a fucking setup. I want to fucking try to find a side street or somewhere I can send. Hey, I need 911. There's a guy that fucking just took a face bump.
You know, it was the best part of me that you're telling me. It's the only part of me that's redeemable. You know what's funny,
man.
Kevin? When I would tell people the story, and they'd be like, "Oh, wow," whatever, and then I'd be like, "Yeah, my friend told me that I was a fucking idiot because somebody could have been standing in the alley waiting for him." And everyone I talked to went like this. Well, yeah. I was like,
I'm telling you, man, it's. I've been watching the thing with the NFL guy. They got Joe Burrow's house got home invaded.
yeah.
and they show his crib, and he has a fucking like a deputy on the property or some shit. And I look, and I'm like, okay, I know they're called hurricane shutters down here, but they're they're steel fucking slats that cover your, like, purge your fucking crib out, man.
Mm.
I used to tell people that all the time when wherever I've lived. I try to make my house as secure as possible, because when you do anything that's live and they say, and live from Des Moines, Iowa, and you come down the ramp, every motherfucker in fucking Scottsdale, Arizona knows you ain't at your crib.
Yeah, that kind of sucks doing live sports like you did. Huh?
Yeah, these guys, they get hit when they have it, and how'd you like to have a home game, lose, come home and your fucking shit gets up?
He probably could have used a nice hit of the Delta 9 sipping syrup at that time to calm his ass down. I would have needed it. And if we're in the high spot of the show, it's time to tell you about our friends Mickey Ray Sinatra and Courtney of Get Blitzed LitAid. Kev, the new product, I will read you Mickey's text to me. We're very close. And we'll tell you, by the way, where
to hit in the stores,
where you can get it in the stores. I asked him, he's still I think you guys have a distributor in common that is still they're still on board.
It's ABC down. No, it's Total Wine.
Total Wines, yeah. Everything's ordered. Going through the final phase of the label printing, and he's going to send to me for final approval, and then they press it on the cans, and then it's out the door. So, but what are we talking about? We're talking about the incredible THC Kliq This seltzer that you're going to be able to get very soon in 2 phenomenal flavors, Kev's Key Lime and Sean's Blue Raz. But what if I told you can get a limited edition can of this now? And you do that by checking out get-blitzed.com and ordering their Delta 9 Sip and Syrup, which is potent THC syrup. You just need a teaspoon or less in the beverage you're already drinking. You see, that's how it happens right in front of you there on the screen. Just pour it in. It's nano-infused, which means it's a very fast onset. Pour it into your soda, your tea, whatever you want. And it nano-infused means it goes right into the bloodstream, bypasses the breakdown in the liver. If you're in Maryland, visit them at one of their Stay Lit smoke shops. But for the rest of us, it's legal to ship right from the Get Blitzed website to almost all 50 states without a med card as long as you're over 21. And right now you can save 15% by entering the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at checkout. Go to get-blitz.com. Now you're seeing something very important, what Steve's showing you right there. If you order 2 of the LitAids, you can, and you put in that code KLIQ, you slide down and you can put what beverage you'd like of the Kliq This seltzer. So just tell them if you want Kev's Key Lime or Sean's Blue Raz. If you spend $250, or no, was it $200? If you spend $200, you're getting 2 cans, one of each flavor. So head over there, make it happen. Go to get-blitzed.com. It's a tremendous product. Anyone that's tasted it has loved it. Steve going crazy there. He's ordering $203 worth. He's going to be a happy man. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you, Get Blitzed. We can't wait until we can head to the store and grab a can. Vince Moran. Biggest sign Kevin Nash is a top-tier athlete. He can rock Air Jerusalems with socks while covering first base. Could have taken Keith Hernandez's spot. Loved these events surrounding pay-per-views in the 90s. Looked like a blast. What he's talking about was the charity softball game before SummerSlam.
This is a Chicago softball. You don't have mitts. Is that soft, big fucking softball?
Is that what that is?
And fucking, man, Macho hits one. Hits that motherfucker like 300 feet.
Yeah, he was. He was a great baseball player.
He was a great athlete.
Knows. Yeah. And so how were these? This was just another day of fun, or did you not want to be bothered?
Well, we couldn't smoke weed, so I mean, it's
You
like
had to do something. Might as well play volleyball.
might as well play a little softball.
I think one of the bushwhackers I just saw as the first base coach there. There's Razor. We're looking at some of the fun.
That's my boy. Boom! That looks like that might be yard.
Goner. Of course, Michael's had to take the shirt off, right? Well, hell, I would have too, I guess, if I looked like that. Is that Dink out there too?
1, 2, 3 kid with a fucking. Think that was it? Did it end it? Yeah.
That was the game. That was it.
Yeah, I've got Birkenstocks and socks on.
Cody Rhodes is a Jedi says WWE Vault Channel released a behind-the-scenes vid after you won the WWF Winged Eagle title, and you give King Kong Bundy a high five. You and Sean got to talk about these Vault vids on Kliq This. So I'm kind of digging what they're doing now. So they're finding just these little snippets, not necessarily parts of whole shows or documentaries, but there's all this unique footage that I'm sure is just. That was my dream, to just get into the real vault, the real video vault in Titan Tower or in the production studio down the street, wherever the hell they kept this stuff. I would spend weeks in there just going through old house shows, outtakes from promos and stuff. I think we're going to start getting all this stuff on the vault now.
Bundy was a good dude.
Yeah, I totally forgot that he was back there for a half a minute in '95. I don't even remember.
I remember when they did him so dirty too, man. So he came back and he had a job match, and so he beat the guy and fucking covered him. He goes, 1, 2, 3. Bundy looked at him and goes, no, 5. I think Joey Morella was the fucking referee, and Joey said, no, motherfucker, we're not doing that.
You're kidding. Oh, they fucking no-sold his 5 in front of the audience?
Yes.
Oh, that's horrible.
Oh,
King.
Look,
King
my
was a good
shoulders
guy.
didn't have any cuts on me yet.
Oh, man. No. How many had you had by 95? How many of the 39? We had the leg. We know that from basketball.
Shit, I had 6 knee surgeries, an ankle, a wrist.
Ooh.
I was probably around 10-ish.
Okay.
95.
Doxmer says, how about the Anoai family versus the Kliq? That wouldn't be fair. You'd be outnumbered like 27-4.
What are we playing?
If you got, I thought wrestling.
Oh, I was thinking basketball.
I thought in a tag. You need to bring someone else onto the court for you. You always said
We had
that.
5.
Kevin, Sean, Paul Scott. You had 5. God damn it. Thought 4. Yeah, so you could. You just have to play the whole game. Maybe you could put like PJ on the bench or something to come in. Guys,
isn't like we're gonna have to worry about the fast break with Yoko.
No. Some of them now, maybe, but not then.
No.
Oh. Guys, if you want to join us live here in the audience, you do that at KliqThisTV.com. Join the 11 Soft Club. Be here for the pre-game show here, the pre-production meeting. You could ask Kev questions in the show, and then you get it early without the commercials. Make it worth your while. And then we always have some special stuff popping up. We're talking about guests and stuff, and we'll tell you guys what's going on very soon. Kev, are you able to, with the injury, I know your mobility is greatly cut in half just by having the one arm available to you. Are you able to hit where you have to with the manscaping? You able to use the tools still?
I took that shit down Brazilian before surgery.
Oh, right. Okay, right. Thinking ahead, so you're
Yeah.
you're covered.
Yeah, I took that shit. And then today I took a shower before I came down here, and like I got this fucking, I don't know because it's black, but I got this gimmick, and it's got like I have like my fucking arms glued to my fucking side,
Yeah.
and it's pushed out. Like there's a pad about that thick that sticks out. This thing is, and it's just digging into my fucking neck. It's like, oh. When I came out of surgery, and each time is, it just seems to be, and it was just like, she was, she kept yelling at me. I think the recovery nurse, Kevin, I'm like, fucking what? God damn, it's like, what, motherfucker? So Tamara, Tamara's sitting there, and I look at Tamara, and Tamara fucking, again, they tell Tamara that I'm going to be there for an hour and a half, and it's 3 hours later, and she thinks nobody's contacted. She's sitting in the fucking waiting room. I'm fucking 65. I've been operated on a billion fucking times. And I kept telling her, like, I really, when we were talking about me getting the stem cells, I was just like, man, at least with the stem cells, they put you in twilight. Like, they don't knock you the fuck out when they stick, the needles in your neck and your back. And she says, you're not worried, because I drove that morning to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking haul. We were out in Celebration.
Yeah, that's right. You have to go down there.
And as always, the guy, the anesthesiologist comes in and gives you some fucking, bullshit. We're going to give you a little something to fucking calm you down. So he gives me a syringe of this shit. I waited like fucking 20 minutes. He comes in there and asks me something else. He goes, Versed or whatever the fuck it is. I said, yeah. I said, what was that, fucking water? I said, Adam, I said, I'm agitated. I said, can I get something? Like, ugh.
Well, then
went out. So I went out. So now I'm trying to kick, and she's like, Kevin, you got, because I'm not breathing, I'm sporadically breathing, and my oxidation level's going below 90. She said, I got the fucking thing out my nose, but I can barely breathe out of my nose. It's been broken so many times. So she's saying, so I'm breathing, and I'm looking back, and she's got this fucking thing taped on my hand so tight, one of my fingers, that it's wrapped around. It's dinging the entire time. And I'm like, fuck, bitch, I can't breathe any more than I'm breathing. And I'm like, what is with this fucking thing? And she's sitting over there at her desk. I'm looking at her, and my wife's sitting to my right hand side. And then finally, I figured out that it was that thing, so I just pulled it off. Like, fuck this. Like, I just tore it the fuck off and threw it on the fucking floor. And I said, I need to piss. So she goes and gets the fucking, the pee gimmick. She grabs one of these.
Oh, yeah.
Still empty tonight, by the way.
Yeah. So she says to me, do you want me to help you with that? I said, no, I fucking use this every week. I use it on my show. I said, I got it. She goes, so I said, I just need to get can you help me get my legs around? I said, I can't piss sitting with my fucking legs up.
Of course.
Like, I got my legs over the side so I can put my fucking. So she's wanting to she thinks she's going to grab my shit. And I said, once you get my legs around, you can just turn and walk the fuck out of here.
Nah,
I'm just going to dump my fucking dick in the fucking top of this thing, and I'm going to piss.
She wanted the story for her friends, Kev.
Yeah, well, she
You know
wouldn't
who
get
was
one.
in? You know who was in last? You know
Yeah.
who was in for the operation? Big Kev.
Yeah.
I guess he's big sexy after all.
I don't know why I made her from Alabama, but
She
assume
probably was.
everyone from Florida is. Just assume.
Or
But
not.
but
Nobody in my house.
not in your house. But please let me finish telling everyone that Kev was able to fully manscape because of our friends at Manscaped. The holidays are creeping up, and I've got something I want to share with you guys, all right? If you want to look sharp for all these festive gatherings, maybe finally win a Best Groomed award from your family, check out the latest masterpiece, the Chairman Pro Electric Foil Shaver. It's like Rudolph for your face, okay? Guiding you to a smooth, irritation-free shave. You are going to be able to join over 11 million men. Can you believe that, Kevin, since we started reading this copy? 11 million men. That's almost how many people can get into an AEW arena who trust Manscaped by using the code, and you can use the code KLIQ20, KLIQ 20, for 20% off, plus free shipping. I told you about the Chairman Pro, okay, armed with not one but two interchangeable skin-safe blade heads for the close shave on the face. If you'd like something a little more stubble, if we're going for the Don Johnson look, I'll use it since most of our listeners, as we saw, are between 45 and 55. If you want that, then you can also make the adjustment and keep a little bit of your stubble, okay? It keeps you sharp while minimizing razor burn and irritation. But the whole line of Manscaped products is worth talking about. Their creams, their spray, the little spray to spritz up, and the ball salve. It's tremendous. They smell great. They're soft, and you could be smooth as a snow angel by checking out Manscaped and the Chairman Pro. It's got a travel lock to make sure it doesn't accidentally turn on in your bag. It comes with the travel bag if you get that set. Listen, guys, the LED spotlight's tremendous too. Get the Chairman Pro today. See what I'm talking about. Experience a shave that is as smooth as you deserve. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code KLIQ20 at manscaped.com. I use it every morning. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code KLIQ20 at manscaped.com. Love everything Manscaped puts out. I hate I have to crowbar all that shit in there, Kevin. I hate talking about just the Chairman or whatever, because the ear and nose trimmer, and
I trimmed my beard down yesterday with it.
with the beard trimmer. Obviously, I don't use that. I'm using the Chairman Pro right now, but Kev's using the beard trimmer. Tremendous. Thank you, Manscaped. Kev, I saw an article today that suggested where Kevin Owens suggested that all of the recent WWE controversy, it's been a tough couple of years, has been the catalyst for their growth, their meteoric growth in the last couple of years, which we talk about on the show all the time, the numbers and all that. But it did parallel all the other stuff that hit the media. So in a strange way, he might be onto something. He said it drove new eyeballs. No, listen, because it's in the news. It drives eyeballs to the product that might not have found it if it didn't land in their news feed in another way. What do you think about that?
I think that's a very, I live in the wrestling bubble view of the world. I'm sorry, man. It's very difficult. I did it for 30 years. It's very difficult for me to watch professional wrestling.
Okay.
So if somebody's shitting on somebody is, and that's the news headline, and that makes me watch. It's not gonna draw me to becoming somebody that watches it on a weekly basis, where it leads to any meteoric rise to. I think the fact that, number one, Endeavor got involved, which I just think that it was time for somebody besides Vince to be in charge of the company. I think
But that too hit the media, that he was out and new creative team and people tuned in out of curiosity maybe. And
but I also think I think it was a lot to do with Endeavor, and that they wanted to put different eyes on it.
mm-hmm. The other thing too is I know we're all going to the McMahon stuff as the controversial item, but even just something like Linda being tapped to be part of the cabinet could have driven eyeballs and interest onto the product for maybe just the more casual fan or someone who wasn't invested, who sees that as a kind of a vindication for the product she helped
To
build.
me, it's like stock car racing. If all of a sudden fucking somebody in the France family gets charged with some kind of sex, it ain't gonna make me watch fucking stock car racing. I'm not gonna watch NASCAR. There ain't nobody that doesn't know fucking what pro wrestling is, that doesn't know what NASCAR is. I mean, I disagree.
Okay. That's
I think that
absolutely fine.
The production's better. I think that
they made the most of it. Yeah, they did absolutely seize on the opportunity to rebuild the product a little bit.
I think what happened was they had that Super Bowl out in L.A. I'm sorry, WrestleMania out in L.A. And a lot of eyes from the entertainment world came and got a peek at it live.
Mm.
And they were like, holy fuck. Like this is something. It's like anything else, you know. The old song, nothing draws a crowd like a crowd.
Mm.
And I think that's what happened. I think people came, they saw the spectacle, they saw the fucking sets, the costuming, then they saw the athleticism. And then if you take the time and you watch the product and you watch the build up and you watch the production of the build up of the storytelling, and then you watch the culmination of that in the event, now you fucking that's what made them beat us at WCW. Was everybody knew that they were smart. They knew that everybody would watch Tyson. They paid Tyson. Tyson was at WrestleMania. Everything, the storylines were strong coming in. They had several key big stories coming in, but they knew that nobody had watched them. They shot movie quality trailers to every fucking story.
Mm.
Every match delivered. Tyson delivered. WrestleMania delivered, and that was the end of it.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely. But I do
And on top of that, leave my fucking friend alone. Sean doesn't need to be wrestling coming out of fucking retirement.
Oh yeah, with Kevin, yeah, with Owens, yeah, I saw. I'm dismayed yet again at humanity, Kevin, as you often are. On the heels of this executive being shot in New York, social media becomes the barometer of where we really are on this planet. And although I wonder if it is, and that's what I'm going to ask you, all the personal stories about people's incredibly unfortunate trials and tribulations with healthcare, and how many people are left out in the cold, has led, though, to an almost implicit justification in the articles that I've been reading, not on the part of the news media, but on these posts that they're sharing. And yes, I do think it's an opportunity maybe to talk about healthcare yet again. It's not like we haven't been talking about it for the last 20 years. But I'm very disappointed that we've taken this opportunity, the murder of this guy, for not only people to tell their story, but to attach it to this where it's almost like a freedom fighter action. Do you agree?
It's, number one, man, like murdering anybody at the top. I mean, it ain't gonna do shit. It's just not. That's not. That's. I don't know. I mean, it may.
It's politics and policy is where this all happens.
Like I was watching something the other day, some talking heads, and it was in lieu of this murder, and when it comes down to it, like it's like big pharma isn't the fucking bad guy. It's the health industry.
Explain.
Big pharma would be more than happy to fucking take stem cells and fucking charge the fuck out of them.
Oh, if they could profit from them also,
right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you look at stem cells and all these other things, but for the insurance company to cover stem cells, shit.
Right.
That's that's the holdup on everything. So.
Well, but I mean, it's a very incestuous relationship between those sides of the issue, Kev. Because look at something like the opioid crisis, right? Where Big Pharma and their checkbook was making Washington dance to its tune. There's been documentaries, and they're too voluminous to go through here, but there have been films, there have been documentaries. People can certainly educate themselves on the role of Big Pharma, the producers of the medicine, also. So I don't. They're not off scot-free here, but I just think it's a horrible way for this to come up, and it does, I think, suggest for some people suggests an opportunity to
see. I think what fucks this whole thing up. And it happened also with the Boston Marathon bombing, when you put an attractive kid in the situation, and all of a sudden, it's not this horrible monster. It's the Ivy League kid next door that says I've had enough, and he's got had some back surgeries.
It's covered differently than if it's some kook.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the woods.
But at the same time, though, I don't know, like, why would you? The kid was fucking loaded. His family was loaded. It wasn't like, I wouldn't imagine he was, didn't have health care. He had fucking rods and screws put in his back. Maybe it was nobody smartened him up to the fact that fucking you got about a 35 to 40% chance of complete failure on back surgery. But I just where's that kid now from Boston that everybody, he was the darling on Rolling Stone magazine and everything else. Like, where's he now? He's in prison. Mm-hmm. He's rotting in prison. Now, the only thing that I will say about this whole this kid that killed the healthcare guy is I saw how he was adamant about not fucking being extradited to New York, because fucking Diddy saw his fucking photo.
That's the reason he doesn't want to be sent to a
Damn right.
a
Ain't
correctional
nothing like
facility.
ain't nothing like a Diddy party, baby.
Yeah, if you're pretty, commit your crime elsewhere.
Yeah,
If you're pretty, don't land with Diddy.
That's it, man.
Oh my goodness. Well, so how about a little Florida man jersey guy, Kev, for old time's sake, for God's sakes.
Hell yeah.
No one got any last week. This segment.
But you know what's like I
Talk to me.
I just got to say this like on this killing.
Yeah.
I sit and watch these shows like The Jackal and everything else, and you say to yourself like, "Wow, man, it's you never see anybody get shot with a fucking suppressor, or, let alone a fucking 3D fucking printed gun." And lo and behold, in the middle of New York, this guy on the CEO's fucking behalf. Just a heads up. Maybe not go with the cobalt blue sports coat. Like maybe stay in a fucking in maybe a black sports coat.
Well, the lime green was taken, so
Yeah, it's really hard to get anything red during this holiday seasons. But I just, what the fuck? But I just it amazes me that this is like. I mean, this is the first time I've known of there being a crime committed of any significance with a 3D printed weapon. I may be wrong.
Well, the ghost guns exist, but a high profile crime, you may be right about that. I don't recall any offhand, so
I'm watching that show, The Jackal, on I think it's on Hulu.
Uh-huh.
And he had to kill this guy that's gonna give some information on the web over basically like how fucked up our monetary situation is, and so they're trying to kill him. The Jackal was sent to kill him, and they printed a 3D weapon for this whole fucking show. And I'm in the middle of watching the show, and it's one of those fucking shows that is streamed, but it's every Thursday. So you can't just watch Bang Bang. You got to wait every Thursday to watch it.
Welcome to 1987.
Exactly. So, actually, I'll get to see what one when I get home tonight. But and then I turn around and this fucking, and when I first saw it, I was just like. Because the first thing that sticks out is that he's got a suppressor. Nobody knew it was a fucking 3D printed gun. It's just the fact that the guy had a suppressor.
Mm.
And I just thought, he took kind of a combat stance. The gun jammed. He fucking, he cleared it and racked another round. And I'm thinking to myself, like,
it looked like he did that after each shot almost.
And he probably had to, because the recoil mechanism wasn't,
right,
that of a manufactured weapon.
Yeah, no doubt it was because they'd have to add. You have to add a lot, I would imagine, with a ghost gun, because the plastic parts of it, the barrel and the handle and all that stuff. But for the trigger to have resistance and stuff, that's got to all be.
Well, and the barrel would have to be. You couldn't have a plastic barrel.
Well, I meant the exterior, the muzzle. The part where the bullet comes out has to be metal, obviously, right? Because it would tear the plastic.
Or the heat.
Or the heat would melt it, right? Because I've used 3D printers, and it's the filament melts to create it, so it is meltable at a high heat. So speaking of guns, let's get down to a little Florida man jersey guy.
All right.
This week brought to you by Blue Chew, our oldest advertiser, near and dear to our heart. Why? Because the damn thing works is the reason that you hear Blue Chew all over the place. You just have to deliver what you promise. Build it, and they will come, if I may.
Multiple times.
So, Blue Chew, feel free to add that to your copy for next week. They say first impressions are important. What about lasting impressions? That's where Blue Chew comes in. Blue Chew helps give men longer lasting and stronger erections so you can perform at your very best. It's an online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in chewable form. Best part about this, the process. The product's amazing, but Blue Chew has made this so easy for you. Sign up at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers. Once you're approved, you got the prescription, the gimmicks in the mail, and you're rocking and rolling in a matter of days. All done online. No visits to a doctor's office, no awkward conversations about this, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Take them anytime, pop the pill, and just be ready to go. You could be missing out on the best action of your life, guys, okay? So get in with Blue Chew so you can get in with Blue Chew, okay? It's all about confidence, guys. We've got the special deal for listeners. Try Blue Chew for free when you use the promo code NASH at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com. Promo code NASH to receive your first month free. You've got nothing to lose. I implore you to try this, guys. You'll never go back. BlueChew.com. Visit them for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast, sponsoring Florida Man Jersey Guy. All right, those of you playing at home, two actual headlines, one a Jersey guy, one a Florida man. First headline, man attempting to purchase crack on Craigslist, busted by undercover cop who responded to the ad. And man gives finger to the cops, lands in handcuffs, and is now suing. Man attempting to purchase crack on Craigslist, busted by undercover cop who responded to the ad. Man gives finger to the cops, lands in handcuffs, and is now suing. Those of you playing at home, which?
I'm going to go with the crack as the Jersey guy.
And the finger is Florida?
The finger is Florida.
Incorrect.
We don't have a lot of crack down here. We got meth.
I'm sure you could get crack anywhere. Right?
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't mean he got it. Well, maybe that's the reason, Kev. He couldn't find it. He had to resort to putting an ad in Craigslist asking for the crack. Let's see. The man is Anthony Mata, and he wrote in his post.
Everybody on Florida's got fucking meth, so.
Well, in the ad, it said, new to the area, looking for ice or crack. An investigator posed as a seller, responded to the ad, and set up a meeting. He actually decided to purchase an 8-ball of methamphetamine for $80. So, Kev, much to your point, even when he found somebody, he ended up...
I was waiting for him to tell me...
Grabbing some Florida ice.
Put him back up for a second. I want to have something. I have a special skill set.
What's the reference? You got to help me.
Fucking Liam Neeson taking 29.
You went Neeson? You know where I went? David Duchovny. I was going to make an X-Files reference.
Okay.
But I guess for the first time I'm realizing that Duchovny looks a little like Liam Neeson.
Exactly.
They could play brothers, perhaps. And then the Jersey story. The winner there was a gentleman by the name of Robert Bell. He was from Jersey. I used to buy
comics from him when I was a kid.
Robert Bell?
Yeah, he was in the back of all the comic books.
He's from Edison, New Jersey, but he was in the West Village in New York, and 4 police officers walked by. He expressed his dislike and distrust for police by raising his middle finger toward them. Officers noticed, confronted Bell, seeking an explanation. He said, because I don't like cops. And he was handcuffed, taken into custody, and now he's suing everybody. Kev, I don't have to tell you that the college football playoffs are upon us. And I know tickets are going to be a hot commodity. So no better time than to tell our friends about the special deal we have for them from GameTime. GameTime's URL, if you are going on your laptop, is gametime.co, C-O. But I say just drop that app on your device and do as I have done with Game Time and make my purchases right there through the app and have everything show up in your wallet. If you have such a thing on your device, they have a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for your favorite live events even easier. What it does is it filters out the fluff to show you only the incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste your time searching through literally thousands of tickets. Okay, they have, in addition to Game Time Picks, they have great services like all-in pricing. You can toggle this, which shows the total up front, no hidden fees or any of the stuff that shows up in the total at checkout. It's right there for you, all-in pricing. Seat views, my favorite thing. When you see the map of the arena or theater or stadium, it has little dollar signs on all the seats for the tickets that are available from Game Time. You're going to click on it. You're going to see the field or the stage from that seat. You know exactly what you're getting. Lowest price guarantee, they'll credit you 110% of the difference if you do not get the lowest price. And the Game Time ticket coverage offer, where your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the industry. Download that app. Let's see, Steve. Let's see what's going on here. We got some college football.
This one, is it wherever the highest ranked? Is that so? Tennessee's at Ohio State.
Yes. So, Kev, if you wanted to go there,
all right. Let me see. Let me see what it would.
If we can get some good seats here. God, there's a ton of seats. Good.
Let's see.
Let's zoom in there. So they have their super
5,
deal
6.
for $5.16, and it looks like you're right. It's first level. Zoom into that $5.16, Steve. Is that bottom level? That is indeed bottom level. End zone.
Yeah, I don't like that.
You want to move towards center a little more?
Yeah.
All right, let's move towards center. Let's get Kevin one of those.
How about that 720? Yeah, that's 724.
That's a money spot right there. There's a 540. Well, that's the other end zone.
That's for 700, right? 724.
That's 724 right there.
Yeah, fuck. If you're a Tennessee fan, that's a hell of a.
Yeah, playoffs, man. And if you don't mind the end zone, I see one there for 421.
I hate the end zone.
Get those glorious bombs, those catches.
I like to watch it like TV.
Hockey always like to be in the corner because if you're low, because you can feel the pounding when they get checked up against the corner there. So, guys, this is just one stadium we're looking at. All of the ones that you select, the games near you that you want to go to are going to have these same options we looked at right here. The amazing deal suggestions, the super deal suggestions. Right now I'm looking at the Rose Bowl, by the way. Oregon, Ohio State. If you want to be part of a legendary...
Oregon, Ohio State, Tennessee winner.
Tennessee winner, right. Yeah, there it is. That's my little slash there, I had to say. So you'd be at the Rose Bowl for $4.69 I'm looking at right there.
I just got to say that the fucking Ohio State looked a little fucking shitty against Michigan, so
you're counting on a Tennessee entry into the...
Yeah, I'm looking for... I think Tennessee's got by far the hardest road to the national championship.
Guys, download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code KLIQ, KLIQ, and you're getting $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code KLIQ, get $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time. Thank you, Game Time. Kevin, what you have any predictions?
Let's see if we can get what's the point
spreads? Let's see the spreads here. All right, so
fucking small, I can't see them.
Yeah, zoom that. Yeah, there we go.
What the fuck is this shit?
Well, what
basketball?
is the Tennessee spread?
This is basketball, isn't it?
Is that basketball or is that football? No, that's football.
Here we go.
What day is?
Are we just picking winners? Playing? Is that what we're doing?
What day is Tennessee playing?
They play 8:00 tomorrow on Saturday.
Okay, so go up, Steve. Scroll.
There it is, right there.
Stay right there. Okay, there we go. So it looks like a 7.5 point. They're getting 7.5 at this moment. Where's your money going?
I'll take Tennessee in 7.5.
Okay.
I think they'll beat them. I think they'll beat them outright.
What's the other money game you're looking for?
Texas plays.
Longhorns.
Yeah. They play Clemson. What's that?
That's Texas A&M. Texas State. Longhorns. There we go.
No, that's
No, that's there they are.
There we
Okay,
go.
so they are giving 11 to Clemson.
Man, I don't know if I'd touch that one. I'd take Clemson at 11.
Taking the points. All right. You playing anything else this weekend?
What's the Georgia spread?
All right, let's check Georgia. There, that's Georgia Tech. Bulldog. Let's see. No.
That's the winner.
No, it's Fresno State Bulldogs. Too many Bulldogs out there. Are they on the schedule here?
Yeah. No, maybe now they're not. They're off because they were SEC champs.
Ah. A bye?
So yeah, they get a bye.
Yeah. All right. Hashtag Ask Nash if you have questions for Kev. This is where we do it, like Stephen Breach does. He says, any good stories from Nash about the WWF softball games they used to play? So we saw some video of that. How many times did that happen?
Not very often.
And it was part of that one was the SummerSlam weekend.
That was, and we played maybe some disc jockeys, some police officers, and some firemen from, I know it was on the campus of Northwestern.
Oh, so it wasn't wrestlers against wrestlers. It was...
No, we played the locals.
Okay. Gotcha.
Our crew was too fucking small to fucking...
Back then, to fill the 2
18.
baseball teams.
Fuck.
Yeah. 9. Thomas Logan says, oh, this is a long one. You're at DominicsDeli on Cornerstone Boulevard. Is that a Detroit thing?
I'm not there, but go ahead.
All right. You're at DominicsDeli on Cornerstone Boulevard grabbing a pastrami Reuben with Sean. No one's recognized you thus far. When you're about to start working on the second half, all of a sudden, Logan Paul appears and smacks the Reuben out of your hands. The delicious pastrami, sauerkraut, and Russian dressing land on Sean's face. Before you have a chance to react, Paul knocks Sean's food off the table and starts drinking Sean's ice-cold Dr. Brown cream soda right out of the can. This is an advertisement for Get Blitzed, I think. He then goes on to challenge you in front of all deli patrons to an in-ring fight, SummerSlam 38, New Jersey, Saturday, August 2nd, 2025. Do you accept his challenge? Do you kick his ass right there? Do you buy Sean another Reuben afterwards? I got the sandwich covered. I won't be challenging.
I'm not going to be at a fucking deli ever, so.
Will you be at SummerSlam next year?
I don't know.
That might be an opportunity for a live Kliq This.
Right now, with my arm in a fucking sling and fucking
being anywhere but the recliner.
Yeah, and you can't fucking not being able to get my hand any further up than this. So when you blow your nose, you got a hockey fucking it's like.
Did you get your crab meat straightened out from?
No, I got, so then the next one got sent, but nobody fucking told us, and it came fucking, I don't know, maybe at 6 o'clock at night, and my wife got up the next day, and I've been sitting out there, so it got ruined. So.
Oh shit! Damn.
I mean, we got the original,
the big one, right? Yeah,
yeah,
the one where they sent you it all in one container.
And then he said
Mark Caps would like to know, Kevin, question for you both. What, in your opinion, is the greatest monologue in a movie? I personally pick Quint's Indianapolis speech from Jaws. I like Pacino's closing argument in... Oh, no, opening argument in And Justice for All. Because as he's pulled from the courtroom, you hear him in the hallway. I've just concluded my opening statement. So I think that's a good one. The Nicholson deal from A Few Good Men is pretty good, too.
Fucking there's a pretty good one in A Few Easy Pieces.
Oh, it's been a long time. I don't remember. Okay.
Yeah, Nicholson.
Was it Jack also?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would think that fucking, man, that For a Few Good Men is about, that's...
You can't handle the truth. Right?
Yeah.
You need me on that wall.
You want me on that wall.
All right, how about our live audience? Who's here for some love? Oh, yeah, the Alec Baldwin. Dominic brought up Baldwin in Glengarry. That's a pretty one, too. Pretty good one, too. Pino's closing from Scent of a Woman. He just yelled too much. Tyler Blair, have you had a chance to follow Karrion Kross and his slow burn build? Very interested to see if he can finally break into main event status. He's a nice guy. I was at the airport with him and his lady in Nashville when we were going in to do that thing, Kev. I guess I was on the same flight, and we were waiting to be picked up, so we were waiting for a while. I got to talking to him and his lady, and nice guy. You been following him at all?
Me, yeah, I follow him. I watch the show.
Does he have a shot? What do we got here? Is this someone we're going to be talking about in 10 years, 20 years?
I think that he just there's been a couple of times, and I thought that they were going to do something with him, and they didn't. So,
not ready yet?
No, he's definitely ready.
Okay. What else we got?
You know, you've got so much talent there now.
Yeah. Just that it's got to be the right time, right? Because you're busy at the top with all this other stuff. Well, I saw Britt's got something there. What do we got, Britt? What do the lonely do at Christmas? Caught one of my parents, having an affair. I was so hurt and fed up, I packed my car and fled to Florida. First holiday without my folks. It's a hurt piece. Britt, where are you in Florida, for God's sakes, first of all? You know you can carry down there. You should have a piece if you're going to be walking around in Florida. Christmas is going to be a tough time.
I hate Christmas, so...
Yeah, you'll have an ally in Kev talking about forget about the holiday.
Yeah, I did. My wife knows. My mom died December 27th, so Christmas isn't... I don't do Christmas. And my mom hated it.
Did she really?
So,
because of your dad, right? Because losing your dad, yeah.
So it was passed on to me, and of course my wife's a little Miss Chris. My wife has been so fucking good to me the last 8 days, taking care of me.
Your wife's been so good to you for 30 years, Kev.
I know, but it just amazes me.
The instinct. She's got the maternal instinct. She's a caretaker.
She was really
Tampa
really
area.
Let's see.
I'm from Philly, so I got my piece on me at all times. So you go, Britt. Tampa area. You're safe. Hurricane season's over. Say hi to Hulk. Anyone else in the house before I move on? Ivan Garcia, no questions, but it's good to have you back after your surgery. I pray for you to have less pain from all the bumps you took. Thanks for doing this podcast. It's man therapy.
Thank you, man.
I'll second that and take this opportunity to remind everyone that... go ahead. Bring that back. You had one more? Ace Ramon, would you play Santa Claus in a movie? If so, what would the story be? Well, now, I'm writing it in my head now after your Christmas. You play the Santa that's trying to get Christmas shut down.
Maybe I just go into houses and murder people.
and you're foiled at every turn by Mick Foley, who wants nothing more than Christmas to be 365 days a year.
Dallas was also Paige is a fucking Christmas dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can see that with his eternal
Oh man,
optimism.
and he's like Griswold with the lights and shit.
Oh, does he? He goes crazy.
Yeah.
God bless him for having that time or having people to do it. Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, Sean Oliver, and Rita Filippiak. Producer Steve Kaufman. Graphics by Dominic D'Angelo. Title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson. Theme song by Dale Oliver. Technical research by Tristan Nash. Copyright 2024, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, do you want to have another surgery, or do you want to do another show?
I'll do another show if we can get some fucking bumpy cake.
Let us free to fade away into eternity. A circle age, you've come to love me, but now I'm frozen in dead flesh. Oh, Sophie, knew all along it was a trick, but the customer service never answers the thing.